And we're live. All right, hello everyone. I said we got some people waiting. Hi, and welcome to Mary. What do you see? Tonight we have our special guest here, Jax Fromer with simpure.com.
Hey, Jax.
Hi.
And she is going to help, she's going to share with how to use your psychic gifts. And how are you doing?
I am wonderful. I'm very honored. Thank you for having me. So I don't know how this whole thing works, but we're gonna give it a go.
Yeah. So let me say, Jax.
Hi, Mary.
Hey guys. Jax, good to see you. Jax and I are friends. We met each other at some metaphysical events. Very, very gifted woman. She's the owner of simpure.com. And I believe we have the slide for that. I want everybody to see a copyright disclaimer. Yeah, we have to put this
spirit. You gotta do your spirit.
Yep, fair use. And then before we show you this is Jax, the next one. And Simpure, that's not up. Okay.
I'll get it in a sec. Do your spirit disclaimer.
Okay. So whatever you hear, guys, come out of my mouth, this is directly from spirit. So it is for entertainment purposes only, especially whatever I say, and I'm channeling spirit. This is strictly spirit, and it is for entertainment purposes only.
All righty. There, we got that out of the way. So I put this together. I don't know. Yeah, this is
this and is then,
So
this is her simpure.com, SEMPPURE.com. And it's all things metaphysical, but Jax, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Jax, which is a name that I've just gone by forever. And I wanted an all-encompassing brand name that I can do anything and everything that I do, all of my modalities of healing and sales and product lines under one name. So I came up with, through channeling, Simpure. Semper from Semperfi, which means always. The root word is always pure. So I always lead with purity and love and optimism and integrity and honesty. And anything that I make, do, or sell or say is always with that intention behind it. And that's where Simpure came from. I have been doing series readings for over 20 years, but I've had gifts and stories that my parents have told me since I was 3 years old. Obviously, I don't remember when I was 3, but the stories that my mother would tell me is that, like, I'd yell at people sitting in certain chairs. I'm like, no, grandma's sitting there, or this person that is no longer with us is sitting there.
Yeah.
And in the teen years, I blocked it. It was back in the 90s where nobody discussed this openly. It was very taboo. And nobody wanted to, you couldn't openly go into the library and say, hey, I feel people sitting in my bed. What is that? What is it that I'm experiencing? So a lot of it was intuitively done. I taught myself. And then I blocked it for most of my teen years because I didn't understand what it is that I was experiencing. And then in my 1920, like 19s and early 20s, something pushed me back in. Spirit said, okay, we're ready for you now. Whether you like it or not, here we go. And 20 years later, I've been still doing readings. It's one of my favorite modalities of readings, among other modalities like sound healing practitioner and Reiki, other different modalities that I do. So I love being able to tell people what it is that they need to hear from spirit, I am that middle person. It is not coming from me. It is coming from your teams. And I tell you, based on your current decisions, what paths to take. If you take path A, this is going to happen. If you take path B, this is going to happen. And then you can make an educated discussion with yourself and your team of which choice you should make.
Good. Okay, so we already have one question from the audience, and Diana wants to know, how can I start to see spirit again? And Diana, apparently she had been able to, and maybe has lost the ability to. Have you? What do you feel about that, Jax?
So when you want, let's say you used to have a really fit body and you used to go to the gym and you were really strong at doing the things that you were really good at one time in your life, and life happens, you get sidetracked or distractions happen. If you want stronger arms, you go back to the gym and you work on them. It's the same concept. So our brain is a muscle. The more you work on it, the more it happens, the more you are able to gain the goal of being able to see spirit again. Meditation, doing a lot of reading, practicing. These are skills that you can, everybody has the ability to be able to see spirit, hear spirit. Some are stronger than others, some are more innate. The same thing as somebody who plays the guitar. Some people are born with more of an innate gift, but anybody can learn how to play the guitar. It's just a matter of how much practice you put into it.
Okay. All right. Super. So, yeah, because I've heard of some psychic mediums, some psychics having trouble just even communicating with spirit, like there's a block there. And don't know if it's self-induced, if it's spirit-induced, if it is a way to protect them, or what happened.
So for me, a lot of people assume that they're being blocked. I feel that it's harder for the person to discern between whether they're making their things up in their head and or is it really spirit. So it's hard for them to discern what it is that they're actually experiencing. Most of the time, people are experiencing those signs and those messages, or seeing things out of the corner of their eye and they're like, oh, I'm just making it up in my head. Or they're asking for signs and they get the signs, but they say, no, it's just because I was asking for it. So I'm assuming that that's what it is. It's all in my head. When in reality, it is actually them receiving exactly what it is that they asked for. So it is the self-doubt that I feel most people have to overcome in order to get rid of those blocks.
Okay. Self-doubt.
Or what they feel are blocks.
Okay. All right. How do you know if you're really talking? Here, this is a question I get asked a lot.
Yeah.
How do you know if you are really talking to your loved one and not a demon? Because I get so many skeptics, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah. So it's really important when anybody is ever doing any type of readings or any spiritual work for that matter. The very first thing to do is to ground and protect. No matter what, you have to set up a safe, sacred space. You have to use certain tools, crystals, ointments, sage, Palo Santo, different tools. Yes. I mean,
Sage. Yep.
a whole crystal ball right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
too.
There you go. Yeah.
So these are things that we, as anybody, as a light worker or anybody that's even dabbling in, these are things that I had to learn the hard way because, like I said, there was no teacher back in the 90s to teach me to do that. Right. So grounding and protection, no matter what, that will allow you to call in only. So when I start any kind of reading or work or meditation, I always say only those that are here to love, support, and guide me are allowed in. So determining and experience, like, make sure that you have a good relationship with your spirit guides. They are there to protect you. I always call them my spirit bouncers. They are standing there like this in front of my private club, And only those names on the list that are here to support, guide us are allowed in.
Right.
No one else. No demons, no negative energies, only those that are here to love, support, and guide me. If you can do that, then you should not have any doubt in your space of who it is that you're speaking to.
Right, because I was working a cold case last year, and the lady asked me, well, how do I know you're really talking to my son? It's like, probably because of all of the evidence I've given you about what happened to him, and nobody else knows that. And everything he said about you, and how would I know that? So that's how I know I'm talking to him. But
and all of those confirmations.
Yeah, they're confirmations. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. So I'm doing and let's see what your take is on it, Jax. Yesterday I was doing an EVP session, and how I start is, okay, guys, I need my God team with me now. My divine team. I need you to come into the house, protect me, surround me, this entire house, and the boundaries outside are sacred. Nothing evil is allowed in. So I'm doing this, and then all of a sudden I've got my little speaker. I had to go out and get a speaker, guys, because my ears are not young anymore. So I could hear the real quiet words of spirit. So anyway, and then I asked a question, and then I hear a snicker in my speaker, like, hey. I said, okay, who let the idiot in? I said, because I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm going to walk away, and nobody's going to be able to find your body. So I need you to get this idiot out of here. Whoever decided to give me false answers and laugh, get them gone. And maybe then I'll continue. Otherwise, I'm shutting it down, and nobody will ever know what happened to you. You got me? And about 10 minutes later, I started my EVP session again. I said, okay, we're going to start it now. And I said, and I asked the question, and I got straightforward answers.
Oh, Mary, just real quick, can you just tell the audience what EVP means in case someone doesn't?
What
EVP.
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Voice.
In other words, I don't use any equipment. I just use my cell phone. So basically, I get on my video and I say, okay, so is your body like in this well? Let's say, Misty, did you fall into a well? And then, and I'll stop it and I'll play it back, and she'll go, yes, I did. That's an EVP. And some people need spirit boxes. Some people, I don't know what you use, Jax. Do you use any equipment? I don't. Yeah, I don't either.
Just
other than my phone. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, go ahead. But that was my experience yesterday with how do you know that you're talking, and I experienced something that shouldn't have been here.
Well, it's also energy reading. And again, with practice, you be able to discern. It's like even talking to somebody in the living, sometimes you're like, oh, am I talking to somebody who's a nice person? Or if I'm talking to somebody who's not a nice person, you'll be able to have like a judge of character almost.
Okay.
So it is very practice based.
Right. So let me ask you this. How does one, and for people in the audience who are just learning how to use their gift, because most of the people here are gifted, and they're just relearning or learning how to use their gift, how should one start? Now, you said you have to start by inviting in like your divine team.
Yes.
Protect you, your guardian angels. Then what? How do you know what kind of gift that you have?
So it's almost as if and this is how I do a lot of readings. A lot of information comes to me through analogies. It's also finding out how the information is being given to you. So some people hear noises, some people smell, some people taste certain things in their mouth. So when you're meditating and you're opening yourself up to saying, okay, I'm ready to experience what it is like to talk to spirit, understand things, try to see what the differences are. And once you're able to see which ones come most often, like a lot of my students, I had one student not too long ago was like, every time I come in here, I smell onions. And then she would get a download. And I'm like, well, that's how you're receiving the information. She smelled onions every single time. That meant something to her. And she would receive a message after smelling. So also discerning how it is that you receive the information, because so many people receive information very differently. So it all comes down to practice, opening it up, and start with different tools of the trade. Some people want to play around with pendulums. A lot of people start there because it's a little bit easier to trust your intuition with simple yes and no questions. And how to use a pendulum, it's not for everybody. So like an artist, sometimes they use pencils, sometimes they use paint. So picking out your different medium to communicate with your higher self and your team, or for others, experiencing them, picking them up, see which ones you're gravitating towards. Tarot cards, oracle cards, there's so many different tools out there. Crystals, meditation, no tools at all. Even some of them are just intuitive. And so playing around and picking different instruments, seeing what works for you. I feel like that's the best way to start experimenting with where you're comfortable.
Okay. All right. What if it's just like strictly visions? Like I know Joyce, I know Joyce is very gifted. But what if it's just strictly visions and you don't do pendulums or tarot or oracle?
Well, that's what I was saying. Sometimes it is just intuitive, just sometimes it is just without the tools.
Right.
And if you're already experiencing that, you practice with friends and family first. Practice with doing, and I always suggest doing practice for free before, because I've always taken it as a huge responsibility, because sometimes you are taking other people's decision-making skills in your own hands. So until you feel confident in yourself and the messages that you're receiving in how to interpret them, because it's not just receiving the information, but you have to interpret it correctly as well. Because if you're reading somebody and somebody's showing you a bird, for instance, and that bird could mean something totally different to you than it is to the other person.
Right.
So by gauging and practice, it is really all about practice. You cannot expect to go to the gym 1 or 2 times and have a 6-pack. It just doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah. It takes practice.
Yeah, it really does.
And it's funny that you talked about, you shut yours down. I shut mine down for over 35 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but simply because of where I came from. Now, where are you from? You're in Florida, correct?
Well, I am in Florida now. I wasn't always. And I was very blessed to be in a home that accepted some of the things, not to the extreme. And I knew how much I can discuss and how much I couldn't before I ended up in a loony bin. So I,
Yeah, same here, right?
Yeah. So I knew I was very blessed to be in a home where I can explore and play around with different things. But it scared me because, I didn't have that mentor to show me.
Right. Same.
Yeah. But even in Jersey, which is where I originated from, my parents were very open. They got pissed a couple times because I would literally have the lights on all the time.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So
Did you ever come out of that? Because I haven't. I still have all the lights on in the house.
So I feel like once you are more comfortable with being in the vulnerable spaces, and being able to be in the dark, and trusting your guides and trusting the things and things that you sense around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as scared of the dark as I used to be.
Right now, when I'm in Florida, I don't have a problem. But I'm in a 1700s, very haunted old house
with a portal in the backyard.
Yeah, with a portal in the backyard, right? So I sleep with all the lights on all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
it's a different setting. I mean, I'm in my home that is completely fully protected, in all aspects. If I was in a strange place and strange energy and I didn't put like a firewall up and around me, it would be a very different situation.
Sure. So, what other suggestions would you give the audience? Like, how long do you suggest that they practice their gift before? And do you believe that charging is always necessary? Like, in other words, you don't want someone fresh out of the gate like a stallion charging, and and they give you and I and Jason and everybody else a bad rap.
So there's always going to be people that do give bad raps. There's just some people that claim to be who they are, and they just don't have it,
Right.
or haven't put the work in to get it.
Right.
I do feel that it is a case-by-case basis. There is no blanket amount of time that you should be putting towards it. It's really a comfort level, and it's a matter of how much you practice. If somebody wants to put in, let's say, 40 hours in 1 week as opposed to somebody that puts in 3 for 40 weeks, it's very different. So you have to understand your own personal level of comfort, and when you start getting those validations and you feel like, hey, I know that I'm good. I know that I'm not going to second guess myself. I know that what I say comes to fruition. I've had case by case by case by case, and it constantly keeps coming back. Then okay, yes, I can go out there and I can start charging for this gift. The universe does not want light workers to not charge for their gifts. There is something called, and it came to me in a download. It's called fee, right? We have a fee for FEE, fair energy exchange. There has to be a fair energy exchange. We put the time in to learn our gifts. We put the time into giving you the information that you need based on our experience, our history. And yes, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that say, well, you have a gift, you should be able to give it away for free.
But it's your time.
Correct. And not only the time that I'm giving you during the reading, but it's my time that I have taken for years and years and years and years honing this gift and practicing this gift.
True. Yeah.
So it's not just the hour I'm giving you during the course of the reading, but it's the hours and hours and hours of my life that I have put into this so that I can give you the best experience.
Correct. So I do charge for readings.
We say that you charge too little, but yes.
Yeah, you're right. I do.
Yes.
Yeah. But when it comes to a missing person, I don't. And not for a missing person. I've seen, I just can't. But
And that's okay, because that's your
yeah.
charity. That's your way of giving back.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are some ways to give back to the community for having the gift.
Right.
That's your way of giving back to the community and saying, I'm thankful for this gift. Thank you to the universe. How can I help you? And that should be, I do the same thing. I'll go online and I'll do free readings here and there, but as a whole, if you want a private one-on-one full-on reading with me, I will charge for my time and energy.
Yeah. Okay, great. What kind of classes do you offer, Jax? Because I want everybody to be able to contact you, sign up for your virtual classes, if they can't make it in person. So tell them what you offer.
Sure. So I do different types of classes. So one, I do a class where you can come and enjoy the experience of a sound bath or healing sessions, or there's the learning part classes where you can learn how to use your gifts, figuring out what it is that your gifts are, tarot classes, crystal healing, Reiki, and sound practitioners.
Okay, super. I definitely, I know I would love to have you back on, and we go over what are the first, you meditate, you ground, and you you protect your space, you ground,
Yes.
you meditate. Then what would you say would be the next step?
Meet your spirit guides through a guided meditation.
How do you know who your spirit got, like their names? How do you know who they are? Because I get that a lot.
And it's amazing. So once you do a guided meditation, so not necessarily just, and I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't know how to meditate. I can't meditate. My brain is always on. I can't shut it off. Again, meditation is a practice. And there are guided meditations. There's quite a few on YouTube, or you can go to a practitioner that does guided meditations, because you do want to be careful with subliminal messages and you want to be careful with the frequencies. So go to a trusted place or person, online or in person, that does guided meditations to meet your spirit guides. It is a specific journey that you take in your mind's eye that you are able to meet them, ask them their names, have a whole full conversation. So that way, when you're talking to I call them again, my spirit bouncers, that's what I do is I talk to them and say, hey, I'm off hours right now. Please keep everybody else at bay. These are my working hours and I can, or the opposite. Okay, I'm ready. I'm open. Time for business. Let's get at it, but make sure that only those that are here to love, support, and guide us are allowed in.
So this morning, normally it's my cat waking me up, Jax, tucked, and I have to wear, and they're bigger than these. Okay, I have to wear big ass glasses. So my cat takes his paw and goes tap 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 tap, like wake up, mom. So, but this morning I was woken up by a spirit pacing up and down by my bed, and normally I say, off limits, off boundaries. You got to wait downstairs until I wake up and have my coffee, and then we can talk.
Right.
But no, this person was pacing up and down by my bed. So, and I don't know if anybody else has had that happen. So how would you handle something like that? Just tell them off limits. They got to
off limits. These are your business hours. You have to set boundaries.
Okay.
And very strict boundaries, because again, even with kids, it's the same kind of concept. You let them in once and it's like, well, now I'm going to know exactly how much to push you.
Right. Yeah. And they will.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you. So do we have any other questions from the audience? Talk about karma, good karma on the other side.
So there's instant karma, which my kids very much know that if they go to like say something or do something towards me, my people got them. They either stub their toe or or bite their tongue, or so there's instant karma where something happens right away after you know you did something that you shouldn't have done.
Right.
And then there's the big karma where you have either this whole lifetime is a karmic lesson. So it could be brought over from past lives, or you could be learning a new lesson because of something that you've done. It's not a punishment. A lot of people think that all kinds of karma are just a punishment, but karma is a lesson learned, and you want to understand that, you know, a lot of people assume like, oh, the bad CEO is gonna, because he's nasty and he's negative energy, this, that, and the other, and he's gonna just get all the karma he needs in this lifetime, and that's the balance of it. It doesn't work that way.
I had ash all over my face.
Oh,
Mary rolled that earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah. So back to the spirit guides. You know, everybody, well, who's my spirit guide? Who's my spirit guide? You know, and I think that's a very personal thing.
it is.
I can't tell them who their spirit guides. I can tell them who mine are.
Right.
You know,
but they can
I've
meet
seen
theirs. They can meet their spirit guides through guided meditation.
Now, do you do guided meditation?
I do. Yes.
Excellent. Wow, that's great. Okay, so I remember seeing your grandmother. Remember when I met you and it was like, oh, your grandma's behind you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very much a big supporter of your gift, Jax. Very
much. And she, again, because she was in a time where this was not openly discussed, I know that my grandmother had also a lot of sensitivities and saw stuff around and had the gift.
Right.
My mother too, they didn't take it as far as I have, but my mother too, I was never able to get away with murder, anything, nothing. Back when I was growing up, my mother knew if I was out of line, I got a phone call right away. Where is she? What is she doing? And she knew. She had that sixth sense. And most mothers do, right? We, especially us women, we do tend to have a little bit more of an innate gift because with motherhood, you have that inclination of something is wrong with the baby or something is wrong with my child.
Right.
My mother had that.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. I have that with my cats, you know. So.
But you know, it is, you do have it when you are caring and responsible for something else or someone else.
That's very true. Yeah. So, if there is one word that describes what everybody should attain or try to attain in their gifts, what would that be?
No self-doubt.
No self-doubt. That's correct.
No self-doubt. You're not crazy. Don't let other people tell you that you're crazy. Don't let other people tell you that you're wrong when you feel it inside. When we come into this life, we choose our body. We choose the people that we surround ourselves with. We choose our soul family. We choose the location, the gender. Everything is predetermined and pre-chosen. So when we come into this life, our body, our vehicle through this life tells us kind of what it is that what path and whether it's something towards the good or something that's not good for us. So when you've ever walked into a room and you're like, I don't know, I feel a little pit in my stomach, it doesn't feel comfortable, that's your body telling you you're not meant to be here. But when you meet somebody or you're in a space where you're like, oh my God, this feels amazing, this feels exactly aligned with my soul and my life, that's your body telling you that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now. So trust the feelings that you feel inside your body, and don't second guess yourself. Again, that's the whole thing. Don't second guess yourself. Trust the feelings that you get within your body.
So, and it's really strange because I went through this fine arts museum last week, And guys, we were going to have audio. I finally got my speaker yesterday, my little boom blaster that my neighbors hate me now. Okay. Because I have it turned all the way up, listening for, talking to spirit. So next week, you'll hear from Van Gogh, Rembrandt, and especially little hottie, Mr. Matisse. I'll play the audios next week so you guys can hear that and record it. But I know that when I'm like, if you walk into a space and you immediately, it feels like nails on a chalkboard, I immediately know that something very negative is there, hanging out probably in the corners, and I leave. So how do you handle negativity, a negative entity or spirit?
The same. You have to put your boundaries up, put your
Right.
rules up, put your protectors up.
Right.
That's why we have the spirit guides. That's why we have our team of people that have
Right.
passed on to serve as our protectors, our guides. Talk to them like you're talking to me and I'm talking to you. Say, hey, there's some stuff going on in this space. I need protection. I need a little extra protection. And depending on whether or not you can leave or not, I don't, it's based on what you're putting yourself in that position.
Right.
So if you're able to leave and say, this is not for me, this is a negative energy, I do not want to be in that space.
Sure. Okay.
You leave.
Yeah.
If it's something that you have to do where you feel like you have to be there for whatever reason, make sure that you're there with extra added protection and talk to your team and say, hey, I need a little extra armor around me.
Okay, that's great. Because I remember one metaphysical show I was at. I just had this horrendous negative energy. I could feel it from across the room coming from this particular area at this metaphysical event.
I think we were at one of the same ones that we both
Yeah.
felt that. A lot of us light workers felt that.
Oh, yeah. So, you got to put up your blockers.
Oh, yeah.
I call them Chinese screens.
I need a brick wall.
Or your spray, Mary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I should have used, I did use my spray there at the event, and I went and sprayed other people's booths that needed it too. But so is that a plug for my spray?
Well, we could, why not? It'll just take a few seconds. Come, I got up there. Hold on.
Have you been around negative people or in a negative environment? Frankie and Lord's Apothecary Cleanser Spray is a must. Just one spray to make the negativity go away. Available at marythemedium.com.
I love that.
Yeah,
and mind you, the spray smells absolutely incredible. Not only does it just work, but it does smell amazing. Myself, I've used it. I have had quite a few friends that have used it. It really is absolutely amazing.
So we have a question from the audience, Evie. What about the dreams I'm having and like I've been there before, like deja vu, past life?
So it could be quite a few things because it could be either a past life or a memory. When we sleep, we travel. So it could also be places that we have traveled to many times so there's no such thing as like an evil spirit, like people that have that come into the human form. We come onto this earth to play a role. So when we're here, we go sometimes into this dreamlike realm dimension to kind of remind ourselves and our soul families that we're working with that sometimes we have that parent relationship or friendship or somebody that we're not talking to and say, hey, remember, we're working on something specific here in this lifetime. We're good. Just know that we're working on something over here. And sometimes you go to the same meeting place. And sometimes we can remember those. So they feel familiar. We feel like we've been there quite a few times because we travel. It could be that. It could be that it is a memory. We are multidimensional beings. So it could be a place that you are experiencing currently. So there is so go with your gut. What does it feel like when you are experiencing that? Does it feel like it is something familiar in this lifetime? Does it feel like it's something where you're not feeling like it's yourself experiencing it? So look at other surroundings, notice. And I always suggest, if you're a writer where you're always taking notes, have a pen and paper right next to your bed so that you can write down as many details as you possibly can right after you wake up, because you remember broader things of the dream, but there are going to be a lot more details as soon as you wake up. Or sometimes, like me, where I sleep text. My husband knows that if he sees me like this with one eye open and my phone here like this, I'm sleep texting myself the dream.
Oh,
so
wow.
sometimes it's
Okay.
easier because your thumbs kind of just know exactly where the letters are. So text yourself, text your notes. So as soon as you wake up, try to remember as much as you possibly can of the dream and write all the details down. And that when you wake up, you'll actually remember in full detail everything that you've written. But understand what it is that you're feeling during that dream, because it could be so many different meanings behind that, not necessarily just past life.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, great. Thanks so much, Jax. And Jason, can we put up again how everybody can contact Jax for psychic readings, for classes,
Yes.
for sound energy healing? Simpure.com. Okay. And that has a lot of information there. So reach out to Jax. We're definitely going to have you on again sometime. And
I love it.
yeah, and if you want to hang around, we're going to do some cold cases. You can weigh in if you want. I'm going to have the audience weigh in because we've got some gifts in the audience.
I love it.
And yeah, and so Joyce, I want to hear from you on this. Okay, hey JR, can you do a reading on Amy Lynn Bradley? Did we have her on the lineup for tonight? It's next week, right?
Next week. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So next week we'll do Amy Lynn Bradley, JR. I sent it to Jason, but doing some recaps on some cold cases. But at first I want to see what the audience has to say. And then we never did get about all the women in England, did we? Last week? I don't think so.
No, I put those up if we can get to those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So hang around, Jax. Okay. All right. So let's see. Who do we have first on the call?
Well, let's do the big one, and let's see.
Okay. So I'm calling on the audience. Carrie, Joyce, Evie, Chantel, JR, Ilaria. If you're still here, I don't see you, but you were here. Guys, what do you see that actually happened with this young man? What is the first word that comes to mind? What is the first word that comes to mind with this guy? He went missing. They've never found his body. And so I kind of want to see what you guys feel. And I'll give you 10 seconds. Attacked. Joyce goes attacked. Okay, foul play. JR said foul play. Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in? Chantel? Evie? Are you feeling anything there, Jax?
Definitely foul play also, yeah.
Foul play?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wrong place at the wrong time, you betcha. Yep. Okay. So this is Jack O'Sullivan. Jack O'Sullivan went missing when? February 4th, 2024? February 3rd? He was, yeah, 22.
17 months ago or so. Yeah.
Yeah. Mugged. Carrie goes mugged. Yeah. So
I have these too.
something bad happened. My heart is beating fast. Now, this is the route that Jack O'Sullivan took before vanishing. So he was drugged. You're absolutely right. He was drugged, Evie. He went to a party celebrating, he was a lawyer, had just, I guess, graduated.
And this is in Bristol, UK, by the way.
Bristol, UK, yeah. All of you guys are absolutely 100% right. He was celebrating law school, just having gotten a very prestigious law contract, and he was the only one there that did. And he was among all these others that did not get anything. And so, of course, I suspect that there was jealousy. And I saw I do think he was a little naive. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Chantel. I saw 3 to 5, specifically 4 to 5 guys that his drink was drugged. They beat him up. His head hit the stairs. They basically roughed him up there at the party. And I think it had to do with the fact that he was given a law contract and they weren't. So he was privileged. He was special, which is what I got from Spirit. And yeah, they put the drugs in his drink. And he was 22 at the time, going to be 23. Now he's in his 23rd year, if he was alive, were alive. And then he wandered around, Joyce, 22. He wandered around in snow, sleet, and ice in downtown Bristol, among the bridges, these back streets.
There's another one.
For hours with a severe head concussion. And then he just disappears off radar. So I was on this case last year, and then I got off the case. And so I'm back on it. The mother came back to me and asked me to come back. And so I did get from him directly on EVP that 2 named people did kill him. Now, and that he is in a hole. He is in a hole. The police think that he went skidding down the highway, jumped across 2 bridges, and somehow a park, stoplights, and Joyce, you are correct. And
What did you say? I don't see.
She said sewer.
Oh, because I got water.
Yeah, he is in water. He is in water, not the ocean.
No, I just got water.
A pump hole. They call it a pump hole over there, a well sewer. And that he skidded across and he somehow miraculously, his body flipped all the way hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards into the ocean. And the police have washed their hands of it because they're lazy. And I can say that because they are. I've dealt with them before. So he is in water, but it is not the channel. It is not the Bristol Channel. It is not the Cumberland Basin. It is in a hole, a well, a sewer, or even a landscape hole. But I got a pump hole. He said pump hole on my phone with the names of the kids that did it. So anyway, so that's what I got for Jack. So, okay, let's move on. That's Jack O'Sullivan. Congratulations, everybody. You got it. Is he still in one piece? No, he's cut up really bad. Not in one piece. He's gone. This head first. Yeah, Spirit showed a picture of him on my backyard on a tree, and he's in a hole, and he's compact. So, and I got that he was hurt so severely that he could not get out. Did he know the persons? Absolutely. He gave me names. And they were from the party. They were from the party. So okay, so the next person, what do we have?
Well, do Ricky Harris.
Yeah, let's do Ricky Harris. Okay, this is Ricky Harris, missing from Aberdare, Wales. Yeah, JR goes, be careful who you call your friends, right? Your friends should always be happy for you. If you win the lottery, they should be ecstatic for you, not jealous. So, okay, so anyway, so this is Ricky Harris. What do you got, Evie? You got drugs?
That's so funny.
Is that what you got, Jax?
Yeah.
You got drugs? Okay. Okay, there's a darkness here, JR. Yeah. Okay. What else? Dealt or did drugs, maybe both. Yeah. Arrogant. Could be. What, I don't know if he was. When I met his spirit seemed very nice, remorseful. Carrie goes, yep, drugs. So what do you guys think happened with Ricky?
He's such a nice guy. The energy that I get off of him, he's just like,
Yeah, he's nice.
almost like he had no choice
Right.
with his situation. Like he was just put into a situation where he had no choice.
Right. He is a nice guy. Wrong people got him. You're correct.
I just feel like it was like a deal gone wrong almost. Like just a
Right.
situation.
Yeah,
wrong.
you're correct. Yeah. He was with very bad people, drug dealers. So what do you think? Where do you guys think he is? What do you think happened to him? Depression? Yes, he did have depression. He was gaslighted. You are
He was made to
correct.
feel like he had no choice and no way out.
Right. Right. So, what do you think happened to him? Yes, he is deceased.
Something with his head for sure, because I get immediately all across my head pain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Anybody, he was killed. Joyce, does anybody know where his body might be? This is still an ongoing investigation. We've got some very gifted people. He was killed. You see a wooden boat dock, Carrie? Yep. Yep. Okay. Anybody see a bridge? Tall grass in the woods. Joyce, I agree with you, in the woods.
That's what I
in the woods. Okay. Okay, the energy is so thick it's making it difficult for me to see exactly what happened. Joyce, you're right. I see trees. So his sister came to me 2 years ago, and a bridge, yes. He used to walk this path every day, and that's how he would get his drugs. Okay, he would buy drugs, deal drugs. Really nice guy, and it is suspected that maybe he took some drugs from the drug dealer, which is a bad no kind of thing. But I heard when he came to my room in Florida, my bedroom, he woke me up in the morning And I go, what's your name? And he goes, Ricky. I said, Ricky, my God, we've been looking for you. Evie, you are correct. We have been looking for you for a long time. And so, and that I heard a gunshot. I heard an air rifle. And that's all I got. That's all I got. And I believe that he is in a thicket. Did anybody else get rocks, gravel?
Isn't that just England?
Wales.
Yeah. I mean,
Wales, yeah. Rocks and a coal mine. So he's buried under gravel up near a coal mine. Under gravel, up near a coal mine or at a coal mine, which the off producing of a coal mine, and this is a defunct coal mine, there are piles and piles of rocks everywhere, gravel everywhere, and the woods. And he said a thicket, so he is close to it, if not on the property. Anybody scattered a little? Anybody
I
else?
keep getting like a shed almost. So I don't know if
Shed?
it's a shed that's like an actual like cottage or if it's like like an opening to.
Yes.
But I'm getting wood
Yes. Yep.
in.
And you're showing a round structure? Round?
It's like this way. So it's not
Okay.
round this way, but like an opening where it's a rectangle, I guess, opening like a, but it's
Does
like
it
a
look
mine shaft.
yeah, almost, I guess.
Yeah.
shaft?
But it
Yeah.
doesn't it
Like on the side of a hill almost.
yeah.
Does it look defunct or derelict?
Like it's not an active place.
Right. That's an old coal mine.
So it's not an active place.
Right. No, it's not. Yeah, they shut them down. Probably from the 30s, they shut them down. So yeah, so that's what I got.
I feel like he's also not the only one that's ever been put there either. He's not alone.
Absolutely correct. So I got he's not alone as well. So because his sister sent me a picture and I'm like, what are all those spirits doing coming out of the woods there? I mean, like you could see them clear. You could see multiple 4 or 5 people coming out of the woods there. So I don't know, Chantel. He's got a sweet soul. You know, he realizes he did something he shouldn't have, and he paid the ultimate price for it. But he does have a sweet soul.
Like the first thing I got is I got a drug deal gone wrong, and that he was put in a position that he really had no choice but to do it, because the outcome would have been either I get killed or I do this, and got killed anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So, see? And Jax, you didn't want to weigh in on
No.
it. You're like a natural at this, honey. You are so good. Seriously. So she should pay attention. Joyce said, yeah, I know. I don't. She's not gifted, Joyce, so she doesn't know that he's visiting her. But I'll definitely tell her you said so tomorrow. I'll talk to her tomorrow. And so anyway, okay, great. So what else do we have? We have
the serial killer case.
yeah,
Ooh.
absolutely. Yeah, let's delve into that.
All right. So
Okay, so we got Laura Stanley found in the River Mercy, March 2024.
mhm.
I don't know anything about her. And how about the other women?
They're right.
Body found in River Avon is confirmed as missing woman. Margaret Tixcow, I guess, was found in the Avon last week. I guess maybe this has been several weeks ago. Okay, her body. Okay, who else?
We did these two.
Yeah, January 20. I remember that when these twins went missing. They're actually triplets, but two twins took off, and I got abuse at home, and they took off. But with them, I think it was more mental with them, like a pact. Okay, so their bodies were found missing in the river. JR goes, Margaret was lured. Margaret was married. Not sure. I don't know about Margaret. And then Nicola Bully was found. Now, that doesn't look like a fast-moving river behind her. Nope.
Nope.
No.
And there's one more.
And there's actually a lot more women.
Yeah, but yeah. I have
Most
one more.
recent, yeah, Rachel Booth found in Lake Oakmere, close to River Massey and River Dee. I saw a man with Margaret planned the killings. Carrie, each one raped a dark-skinned man, older killer. Okay, so guys, there's a lot more. These are just the beginning of the women that are missing. There's probably 12 of them that bodies have been found, 12 to 13 in the rivers and lakes over in England. And it is a serial killer. Now, Carrie, dark-skinned man, older. Anybody else want to weigh in on with what he looks like?
I'm getting he is not dark skinned.
Okay.
And that he is not a well-known guy, but like that he is not like a CEO, but that like white collar.
Like people know him in the pubs kind of thing?
But like people know him in the community. Like he's a higher profile kind of a person.
Okay.
Kind of like a maybe a council member or someone
Something
in
like
the has
Maybe an MP, because over there they've got like how we have representatives here. They have MPs over there.
It's not like a like not a mayor, but like under like one of like
city council.
Or something like that.
Like
it's not like a top person, but like somewhere where he's known around the area.
Okay, so Joyce brought up a good question. Any of them special needs? Or no, who was that? JR brought that up. I feel like they were targeted for that, like maybe alcohol. Okay. It was always said Nicola Bully was an alcoholic, depressed, you know.
I feel like they were just looking for love, and this guy was a well-to-do, like he lured them out.
Okay. Now why along all the different, see, like she could have any man she wanted, you know. I feel like the lady before, the older lady, I think she was very, very lonely. And I think her, Margaret, and I felt like he lured her, gave her hope.
And so I feel like they're lured, like they're not just dragged against their will at first.
Right. Do you think he lives on a boat and travels around?
Well, he has money. That's what I'm saying. He has money.
Okay.
So he has access that normally wouldn't give access to like a Joe Schmo.
Evie goes, a well-known friendly man. Chantel, I think a wee young or something. Joyce, he was a charmer.
He was a
Is
charmer.
any?
He is
Yeah.
a charmer.
He is a charmer. And yeah, there's like 13 women, guys, that have been pulled from different rivers and lakes over there. So this man is a serial killer. He starts friends with friends, then gets the women. So what kind of description, if anybody from England is watching, and you've told me you do, anybody from England that's watching, how about pay attention, show it to the police over there if they care, and see if we can't catch this guy. And he blends in. JR says he blends in. I feel like he was abused sexually by his mother. Maybe, can I say that? I don't know. Since he starts friends and then gets the women. So anybody have an idea of what he looks like?
I'm getting more slender than heavyset. Short hair, like clean cut, like just very clean cut.
Okay.
And no facial hair.
No facial hair. Okay.
For an average, like 5'10", something along those lines.
Okay.
He's not super, super tall, but he's slenderish. He's not like, buff and muscular.
Okay.
Businessman.
Yeah. So Joyce got blue eyes and some gray in his hair. And she says, yes, Jax, about 5'10". Very handsome guy.
Yeah, he's a very, well-to-do.
Okay. So his family's from money. He's from money.
I don't know if his family's from money. He's money because he's a business. Like he's a businessman. He has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he came from, I feel like he has a lot of resources.
Do you know that the police have labeled each one of these women as suicides? Accidents and suicides.
Okay. So maybe he has somewhere to say the police.
Yeah. So
they're saying that they're not related?
Yeah, they're saying that none of these women there's no relation to it. It's like the serial killer up in New England. All of those bodies they have found, and I mean a lot, none of them are related. But then we have to remember too, we're in tourist season over there in England right now. So of course, they don't want to create a mass hysteria or panic. But
They got Clintoned.
Huh? They got what?
They got Clintoned.
Yeah.
The Clintons, like two to the back. Oh, it was I don't know if we can say the S word on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. Did I say
unaliving? Self-unaliving.
Yeah. Unaliving, yeah.
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 So anyway.
Because we'll get a little thing.
No, I feel like there is a relationship between them.
Yeah, there is a relationship. What gets me is they're all so different looking. He's got a boat. He's got a boat. That's the link. He's got a boat. Now, what I said was that he has one of those, what did I call it?
Those long river boats. Those house
barge, a houseboat. He's got a houseboat. That's the common denominator, and he moves around on it. He goes to different parts. So, yep, he takes him on his boat, and that's where he kills him. Okay, case solved.
Okay, case solved.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
No.
But I feel like there's also more women that are missing that are not
Mhm.
public yet. And I
You
feel
are
like
correct.
they will start to turn up, but they haven't yet.
Yeah.
Is the feeling that I'm still getting around that case, is that they have like 0 leads.
Right. They don't.
Yeah.
They're just thinking all these women are throwing themselves in the water.
Just randomly, sure.
It
Yeah.
does look random though, because they don't fit a
They don't fit
like a
a
common out
look-alike
like a
pattern.
yeah.
Right. No.
That they're all pretty women looking for some affection.
Right. And they don't fit that pattern. I do see the pattern of wow, he showed interest in me.
That's what I mean, like that looking for attention and affection.
Right. Yeah. Black and red king boat. What's that? Black on top, red on the sides. I have to look that up, Joyce. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that's great. So case solved. And so I think we're at the end of the show, guys.
Well, do you wanna here, I'll just put it up. Nope. You wanna
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about this?
Yeah. So guys, anyway, so we are doing pet and human jewelry. And we should have some more examples for you hopefully next week. But this little charmer, you can put on your fur baby. It attaches to the collar, or the human can wear it around their own collar. Okay. And we came out with it last week on the Pet Psychic Show on Thursday. So we are starting our own line of pet jewelry and human jewelry. All of the stones have spiritual properties. So this right here is a lemon quartz. So ladies' bodies were all found in the water. Yes, Carrie. Yes, they were. So we'll have a lineup on marythemedium.com. I'll have to get my nephew Chris to add it because I don't know how to do that. I'm not good.
Mhm.
And then let's put up Joyce's information again. I want everybody to reach out to Joyce. She's an excellent teacher. Probably
Joyce?
a fantastic psychic, guys. I mean,
Jax?
absolutely fantastic. Jax.
Yeah. Okay,
Sorry.
yeah.
Joyce is in the audience. Jax,
Yeah.
sorry.
You were talking
Sorry.
to Joyce for Jax. Yeah.
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 Sip pure. Forgive me, Jax.
That's okay. You got the J.
I got the J. Simpure.com. And guys, I just want to say thank you so much. Do we have another word from our sponsor?
We sure do. Hold on a minute there. Well,
You will love Italian street bread. It's a good. Go to italianstreetbread.com and order use some today. Capiche?
Yeah. And just so you guys know, that's owned by a young girl who came over from Italy and started what she knows. And she's very, very good at it. And so order some. It's not expensive. It's the best breads that you can find. So, and I just want to thank Jason. I want to thank Jax for coming.
thank you.
And hopefully I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon. I'll see you
Yes.
real
Chris said
soon.
you're not going to be there next weekend.
I know. I can't.
Mm.
I tried. Oh my gosh, I tried. But I'll be back in November. So I'll be at a lot of them in November.
Is that Sarasota, Mary? Or Tampa?
Tampa.
Tampa.
Tampa is
Mhm.
the body and mind
Oh,
Mhm.
Spirit
Yeah.
Expo, and then of course Spirit Fest and things like that. Yeah. So thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
wisdom and love and enlightenment. And guys, thank you so much. And Jason, always a champ, getting everything pulled together.
gotta
No
show
problem.
me Wade.
Yeah. So we'll see you Thursday for the Pet Psychic Show, guys. I've got animals lined up. It's going to be a full show.
Hopefully, Melina will be back with us then.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
great. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, you
I
have
know.
to meet Melina, Jax. She is a holistic naturopath and light worker. And she, I mean, like this woman works wonders with animals. Absolutely. Yeah. Sweetheart, sweetheart. Yay. So good. Okay, guys. Thanks so much. We'll
So
see
thanks.
you
Thank
later.
you. All right.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.